Tracking is fun and can benefit your brain whether you are a nature nerd or not. It helps improve your observation, your critical thinking, and your predictions. These skills apply to all fields of learning and are especially beneficial for children. In this video, I follow a line of inquiry that has puzzled me for some time.
Something that I've been curious about for a while is distinguishing between small domestic dog footprints like that one right there and wild canine footprints, because a lot of times when you see fox tracks, they are distinguished from domestic dogs because of size. But what I'm curious about is if you have a dog that is the same size as a fox, what that would look like. So up here near these trees, the substrate is a little bit better, so I think we'll have some more clear tracks. Like right there you can see some deer tracks, and this is noise caused by the rain. That's something I talk about a lot in my tracking book, but noise caused by the rain, not by animals. But up here I think we'll find that dog. Okay, so here we go. So see this track right here. This track is, you can even see it happening little by little. You can see pieces of sand falling down and caving in and making this less precise, but see how clean that nail mark is? This is the domestic dog, and I would say I'm about 85% sure that's the domestic dog that just passed maybe 20 to 40 minutes ago. There's a human footprint. That must have been, the kid would have been smaller than that. That's the kid. This is a woman. And here's another track too. So now notice how wide that track is for how long it is. So I think the first one I was looking at maybe was a back foot, but look at how wide that track is. Wow, this is bigger than I thought. Notice how wide that track is compared to how long it is, and notice the position of the nails. I'm pretty sure that's the domestic dog. Also, here's another one that I think is from that dog. Let's keep going this way. So, okay, then here, oh shoot. Now I'm not so sure. This right here looks to me like a wild canine. Yeah, so it would have been possible for the dog, that domestic dog, to walk up here, but when I look at this heel pad back here, and this one here, which looks like a rear foot, these to me look like a wild canine. So let's keep going and see if we can find anything else to help. Okay, there's a kid right there. There's the woman. See, there's more of what I think is the wild canine. Now, I'm going to need to... Okay, here we go. So this one goes off of the trail, and I don't think their dog went this far off of the trail. But there... This is the wild... That's the wild canine. That has to be. Okay. So back to the trail. I see the guys. I see the kids. So now we're coming out of the good substrate. This is on the top of a hill where it got kind of dry. Things are a lot less clear. I see that might be a different domestic canine. So this isn't going to be quite the perfect experiment that I thought. But wait, look at this. Okay. This to me is the domestic dog right here. Small dog, but distinguishable from a fox or a coyote, in my opinion. The way those nails are spread out like that. But yeah. Let's go up here, see if there's anything else. But while I'm walking over here, the way that I approach tracking in a lot of things natural history related is degrees of uncertainty. So or reducing uncertainty. And so when I think I know something, I usually try to make up a percentage of certainty that I feel about that. So like with those dog tracks, I would say like I'm in like the 60s maybe, so not super high percentage of certainty, but that's okay. It's trying and exercising that muscle of trying to guess, I think, is one of the important things. No conclusive answers on that one. I mean, it's gonna be tricky, and tracking is like that. So tracking is trying to put together the story with a very minimal amount of information. So it's a very imprecise science. And I think the important thing that I want to show is just how you can formulate a question based on just curiosity. And what is the difference between, how can you tell the difference between small domestic canines and small wild canines? If you can't use size to tell the difference between, like a German Shepherd and a coyote, what characteristics will you use? So just asking that question and then trying to pursue it, I think, is the important part. And a journal, like I didn't write any of that stuff down just now, but a journal would be the perfect place to write down the question, and then you can make hypotheses, then you can go make observations and try to test it. And I had a good opportunity in tracking. A lot of times you don't get a test. You don't get to test, oh, here we go, this is where they walk through. You don't get to test things always in nature with tracking, because you usually don't see the animal making the track. So when you do see an animal making a track, or you see people walk by, you can run over there and check, make guesses about what you expect the tracks to look like, then run over there and see if your guesses are right. So I just found something here. This is where the people walk through on their way back. So see how the sand is all stuck on this ice plant here? It wouldn't be like that if they had walked through this morning. It would have fallen off already. So that means that I can connect that with the first canine tracks I see here, hopefully. And what I see, okay, so see that right there? That's an indirect register. So there's actually, let me see if I shade it, if it will be more visible. There's actually 2 tracks in here. You can see the claw marks. Here's another one. The substrate's pretty dry here, but yeah, those are totally, that was a small dog, but those tracks are distinguishable for sure from fox tracks. They're very fat, and they're very round. And yeah, those are the main things that are kind of standing out to me. It's kind of a gestalt. Hard to see in this light, but I would say the back foot would look a little bit more like a wild canine. This type of dog might not be the most difficult, because this dog in height is probably, height and just maybe weight, an overall close match to like a fox or coyote, but I think it's a lot fatter. It's like one of those toy dogs with curly hair. And so I think its feet were really fat. There they are. There's some super clear, wait, I'm not sure if that's the same people anymore, but that's an obvious domestic dog track right there. The size and the fatness of the claw marks, that's pretty, I mean, I'm probably in the like 90% certainty on a track like that. Plus it's associated here with human footprints and on sort of this major trail. That also leads me to believe that. So I think the real test is going to be dogs that have a similar body type, even more similar of a body type to the wild canines, and comparing their tracks. That will be the next thing to do.
Later at the beach, I found an interesting trail from what looks like a domestic dog that matches more the body type I was thinking would be similar to a fox. So maybe a skinnier, leaner dog, but here you can see that it's in some type of gallop maybe, and it's still, even though the size is right to confuse it with a fox, there's distinguishing characteristics in the tracks and even the gait. And here you can see that you can put together a story. Here you can even see that it was dragging a leash in the sand. And here you can see what looks like a playful gait as it runs side by side with a human walking.